While decreasing on a purl row isn't super common, P2Tog together and SSP decreases are great techniques to know. They allow you to remove one stitch every time you work one of these decreases, either in purl fabric or on the back side of stockinette. These decreases either lean left or right in your fabric, depending upon which one you're working. You can play with their placement in your fabric as an extra design detail too. Hi, I'm Hannah from knitting.com, and today we're going to be learning how to P2Tog together and SSP decrease. These two stitches work together. They're designed to be worked in the same row and mirror each other, which means that P2Tog together leans left while SSP leans right. If you're looking for the same decreases meant to be worked on the knit row, check out our tutorial for knit 2 together and SSK decreases in our channel. The same method uses slightly different steps and gives you the same look. If you're practicing with me, make sure to have a swatch ready to practice your decreases on. You can use garter stitch or the purl side of stockinette fabric. Mine is about 4 inches and gives you plenty of room to work. Once you're ready, let's get started. Today we're going to look at how to decrease on a purl side using an abbreviation called P2Tog or P2Tog together. It's a great decrease where you're working through 2 stitches at once rather than one at a time. That means you're turning 2 into 1 every time you do a decrease. To work it, we're just going to be purling normally, but through 2 stitches at once. And I'll show you how to do that. So because it is a purl row, your yarn is in the front, like always, and you're going to insert your needle just like you would a normal purl stitch, but instead of just going through 1 loop, you're going through 2 loops at a time. Just like that. You're going to wrap your yarn up and over normally like you would a purl stitch, so counterclockwise, up and over. And you're going to pull it through, just like that, and then slip both of those stitches off your left needle. You now have 1 stitch where you had 2. And do that again. We're going to do a normal purl stitch just to give us some breathing room. And then we're going to work these 2 stitches into a P2Tog together decrease. Again, we're going to insert our needle through the front of both stitches, wrap it up and over, pull it through both at the same time, and slip them both off that left-hand needle. So now you've taken away 2 stitches by working 2 decreases, and that's how you'll decrease across your row. So every time you work a decrease, you're taking 1 stitch away using this technique. This decrease takes a few steps, but it does create a leaning decrease, which is nice for shaping. So it's a great technique to know. What we'll be doing first is we're going to be slipping 2 stitches, and basically by slipping them, you're twisting them so that it creates a lean to that final decrease. And then we're going to be purling those 2 together once we've slipped them back and forth a few times. All right, let's get started. First, with our yarn in the front, because this is a purl technique, we're going to slip these 2 stitches onto this needle, 1 at a time. The first one, and this is a little bit funny, we're going to go through the loop, through the front, and then pull it off. Same with the next one, in through the left to the right, through the front loop, and pull it off. Basically just twisted those stitches a little bit. Then we're going to move them back to the left needle by inserting the needle through both loops, just straight in, and then removing our right needle. So we've basically just twisted each of the stitches and moved them back to where they started. Next, you're going to take your needle and you're going to go through the back loop of both stitches from the furthest one to the nearest one, through the back. So inserting it, and this is going to get a little tight, be a little tricky. So now I've got my needle through both stitches, and then I'm going to wrap this up and over between the 2 needles, and then pull that yarn through, and then drop those stitches off that left needle. You can tighten that up. It's easier for me to work a little bit looser than pull the strand tight at the end or tighter. Feel free to try that because it is a little tight in there. And do it one more time by doing a regular purl stitch in between, so purl regular, just to give us some space. Now we're going to decrease these 2 stitches. So again, we're going to insert our needle through the front once, through the front twice, and then move those stitches back over by inserting our left needle straight in and then slipping that right needle back out. Now, we're going to again go through both back loops at the same time, starting at the stitch furthest onto the needles and working your way towards the tip. Wrap your yarn up and over between the two needles, and then pull that through. Feel free to use your fingers to really keep things in place so they don't fall off. Here we go, we're gonna slip them off. And that was how to do an SSP decrease. It goes along with the purl two together decrease, which we've showed you also. Between the two of those things, you can get some really nice shaping in your knits. You'll be able to see it on a knit side a little bit clearer than a purl side, but they're both great techniques to learn to create both decreased areas and also subtle shaping.
And that's about everything you need to know about purl two together and SSP decreases. If you found this tutorial helpful, be sure to click the thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Subscribe to knitting.com if you'd like to stay in the loop, and check out our other social media channels. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Happy knitting.